He is Jalen Rose. I'm David Jacoby. We are Jalen Jacoby. What is it that we do?
We give the people what they want.
Jalen, we have World Series Game 1 between the Dodgers and the Rays starting tonight, and we have the official announcement that it is Tua time in Miami. But we start with last night's disaster in Dallas. Through one quarter, this game was 0-0, and then Ezekiel Elliott started putting the ball on the ground. His 2 fumbles led to 2 touchdowns for the Cardinals, who did not look back and absolutely dominated Dallas. Jalen, as you watch this all happening, what conclusions did you draw about this Cowboys team?
I hate to give J&J supporters some broken news, but like I've told you guys since the beginning of the season, the only way to pay Dak is going to be to trade Zeke. This is before he fumbled twice and the other team scored touchdowns. Or as a matter of fact, that's happened 4 times this season. Last night so very highlighted why the Cowboys might as well start this experiment all the way over, Jacoby. When you invest that kind of money in the defense, but it's historically bad, that means it's not working. When you invest the money you invested in your running back, and then your starting quarterback goes out, and he can't be the 3-down bell cow that you thought that he could be, and he puts the football on the turf a couple of times. And then lastly, Andy Dalton. Hold on, didn't I hear a rumor that he was the best backup in the NFL? Did I hear that? I'm just saying, because I watched the Bengals games, and I can't front. Him or A.J. Green, they struggling to get themselves going this year on 2 different cities. Both of them played together. But now he's in Dallas. How much money he making this year? What kind of football is this? Ain't this
$3 million.
Professional football? Professional football, right? So in other words, you're going to invest in this position because I heard people say if something happens to Dak, oh, he can just step right in. They took CeeDee Lamb, you got Amari Cooper. And by the way, I like Amari Cooper. I'm glad he got his bread. But if you're going to give him $100 million, Jacoby, I got to be throwing it to him like he Hopkins. He got to be able to give it to me like I'm Julio, and I'm not getting that. So this experiment has gone bad so very early in Dallas.
It really has, Jalen. And you know what? When you first started talking about trading Ezekiel Elliott, I thought you were kind of being crazy, being a little bombastic. But when you really start to look at this team and the amount of money that they have committed moving forward, it does feel like Zeke and Dak will not be able to coexist in Dallas together. And Jalen, let me tell you something. Can I confess something? I kind of thought Andy Dalton would be much better than this. When I looked at them as a backup, I was like, he was a starter in Cincinnati. Like, he's kind of a pocket passer. They've got so many weapons. All he needs to do is be a game manager. And then last night I was watching this, I was like, oh, no, this does not look like this is going to work. This does not look like this is going to work. And when you put up that graphic again of the amount of quarterbacks in the NFL that make less money than Andy Dalton does, which one of those quarterbacks would you rather take Andy Dalton over? Which one? I'm still waiting because there is not one on that single list.
Lamar Jackson reigning MVP. Cam former MVP. Kyler Murray was on the other side, only had to complete 9 passes, 2 of them deep, and Josh Allen, your guy. Andy Dalton, keep getting them checks. Keep getting them checks.
And you know what? The worst part about all of this is still top the division, and Andy Dalton is a serviceable quarterback, and maybe they can learn from this loss, and they could win 8 games, 9 games, and end up hosting a playoff game. That is just how historically bad the NFC East is. And Jalen, we can't move on without respecting the Cardinals, because Kyler Murray, as you mentioned, didn't have a crazy day. He had 15 incompletions and 9 completions, but he did look good. And he especially looked good when he finally connected deep with his receivers, and he looked good running. I thought that this Cardinals win was a step up for them. What do you think?
I think Demetrius, what's going on? Tommy, what's happening? Reg the Ledge, what's going on? What's up with our production team? This is Cardinals News Network. What is happening right now? Kyler Murray, prime time. I saw DeAndre Hopkins drop and couldn't connect with Kyler their first 4 times. The first 4 times, they were struggling. Dallas, they were struggling. And Kyler Murray still got going. Throw it up there again. And by the way, I was playing against him in fantasy last night. Oh, these deep touchdowns, they hurt me for a lot of reasons. You know what I mean? On one hand, I was rooting for the Cardinals to get it done, but I wanted DeAndre Hopkins to be catching these touchdowns. Do you realize I was trailing by 1 point? By 1 point going into tonight. And then all of a sudden, fantasy, I knew Kyler was going to throw big, but my guy wasn't the person that got the two touchdowns.
Nope. Do you remember after week one?
And he always does when he's back in Dallas.
After week one, when DeAndre Hopkins had 14 receptions, we really thought that this was going to be the trend. I mean, we really thought that this would be the brand new duo. They have not really connected the way we expected them to. And as you mentioned, 9 completions against this defense. Let me just demonstrate to you just how bad this defense is. We've all heard it, but they are historically bad. The most points allowed through 6 games. It hasn't happened since 1961, the year you were born, Jalen. Your entire lifetime, you have never seen a defense give up this many points through this many games. But before we move on, I have to talk about a defender on the other side of the ball, and that was the star turn last night of Budda Baker, the safety for Arizona. He had a sack. He had a forced fumble. He had an interception. He had 7 tackles unassisted on this game. It was a star turn for him, and I wanted to make sure before we moved on that we celebrated Budda Baker. Your thoughts, Mr. Rose?
Jacoby, now you're on my block in the neighborhood on the same zip code because you know players like that are my favorite to watch on Sundays, Mondays, now Tuesdays and Thursdays, up hovering around the line like he Ed Reed or Troy P. It was vintage to watch a player make that type of impact on a big stage, and Dallas was ripe. Dallas was ripe. Look at this. Dallas was ripe. Injuries on the offensive line. If they were in their old division, they would win the division and have a home game. Say the Cardinals. But now they're in the West. They won't even probably make the playoffs because of this division.
Sometimes there's details that we need. There's video that we need to break down in detail. You and I need to go to the table. Cowboys fans are so passionate. This season has been so terrible that it brought this man to the brink. There he is. He bought tickets to the big game on Monday night with his girlfriend, and all she can do is console him as the Cowboys fall apart. Jalen, your thoughts?
See, I got a position that's probably not popular right now. She deserves better, dog.
What?
She deserves better, dog.
How do you know that?
She deserves better. She deserves better. First off, you that salty that the Cowboys lost? Second, you that surprised? He must have had money on the game. That's what it is. He had money on the game. Now this makes sense. She knows that he was betting on the game, and that's how he bought the tickets, and she understands that they may not have a ride home or may not be able to pay the mortgage because he was betting on the game. That's all it had to be. It makes total sense now. Other than that, you deserve better. She deserves better. I bet you right now her DM's blowing up. Her Twitter followers got up. This clip been on all ESPN. It's been everywhere. I'm telling you, she got people that she went to school with. Is that you, girl? Old boyfriends. Everybody you deserve better. I'm telling you, that's what the whole world is telling her right now. I guarantee you, this time next year, she'll be at a game, but it probably won't be with him. That's what I predict. That's all I'm saying.
Here's what happens. Is he had all his money on that game. I thought he was just a passionate fan, but he had all his money on that game. He's sitting there being like, babe, I think I have to start an OnlyFans because we need to get this Uber home. Moving on to the other Monday night football game. No, don't say it. Do not say it. That's what I did not want you to say. Let's move on to the other game on Monday. This was the early game Monday at 5 o'clock. We had my Bills against the Chiefs, and the Chiefs just absolutely ran all over the Bills. When we think about the Chiefs, we think about Patrick Mahomes and McCole Hardman and Hill and Kelsey, but this was Clyde Edwards-Helaire just running all over the Bills. What did you think about the rushing attack leading the Chiefs offense?
So this is your prized rookie. You bring him in to be a game changer, and then you sign a seasoned veteran this week. Eric B. for president understands. They basically the same height, the same stature as he was when he was a running back. Gave him the most carries this year. so he got the most yards this year. We want you to feel good about yourself, young fella. We're not going to take snaps away from you. As a matter of fact, we're going to add to what we're doing. And Sammy Watkins been in and out of the lineup, and I saw Hardman drop a couple of balls this season. Le'Veon Bell now is going to be that Swiss Army knife that they line up all over the place. It's not going to be like a traditional running back. He's shown that he can basically be like a wide receiver. And all of these trick offense, you saw Henry get the direct snap to win the game for the Titans. Those are the type of things they're going to be able to do with Le'Veon Bell, plus have him run routes. He's going to be taking some of Hardman snaps at wide receiver.
I think it really is interesting.
More special teams.
Interesting to propose that they will break out Bell as sort of a receiver, because one thing I know about the Chiefs offense is sometimes they do so much after the snap, so many fake reverses and so many ball fakes and so many tricky things they do in the backfield to hold linebackers and fool safeties, and you add Le'Veon Bell to some of these actions, it's just going to be like you can't game plan for this team offensively. Look at all this motion they have, these jet sweeps. They're going to start involving Le'Veon Bell in these. And it is going to be something that you have not seen before. Like, I feel like Patrick Mahomes is going to get in the huddle and start calling the play, and he's not going to be done until there's like 4 seconds left on the play clock, because there's going to be so much motion and so much going on in the backfield. Giving Le'Veon Bell as a weapon to Bieniemy and Mahomes and Reed really does not seem fair. And you saw Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He knows that Bell is coming. He's like, okay, oh, you got somebody to replace me? You got somebody to take some snaps away from me? Watch what I do to this Buffalo Bills defense. Congratulations to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He needed a big game like this, hadn't played like this since week 1, and he absolutely did it. But however, there's something that even I, a brand new Bills fan, needs to mention. Josh Allen didn't look great. Remember when he was in the MVP conversation and they were 4-0? Josh Allen, he didn't look great. Now, you know what I'm going to do, Jalen? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something that you always do. I'm going to sing. I'm going to blame it on the rain. Yeah, yeah. It was too rainy out there for him. Too rainy. They had to run the ball. He lost the touch. I can't even blame it on the rain. Josh, look at what he looked like in the first 4 games. He was in the MVP conversation, but then you know what they did? They played the Tennessee Titans, who went to the AFC Championship. And then they played the Kansas City Chiefs. Where did they go? Oh, right. They won the Super Bowl. We need to see Josh Allen do it against top-level competition, and we will get that chance because next week they play the New York Jets. Oh, wait. New York Jets is going to be a great little tune-up before they actually do face top talent. Jalen, we have so much more to discuss, including the World Series. Game 1 happens tonight. We'll break that down and much more. You are watching Jalen and Jacoby. Coming to you live from Pier 17 in the South Street Seaport and brought to you by Chase. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, we will discuss Tua Tagovailoa being named the starter of the Miami Dolphins. But first, we have to turn our attention to the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Tampa Bay Rays, who face off in World Series Game 1 tonight. It is Clayton Kershaw who will take the hill for the Dodgers. Jalen, over the course of his career, he has a playoff versus regular season problem, and it has followed him everywhere he has been. And when you look at the numbers, they're undeniable. There is a large difference between his performance when it's the regular season and when it's the postseason. Why do you think that is, and do you think he can get away from that this evening against the Rays?
I think he's going to get away from those poor past performances in this series because the Rays strike out a lot. As a matter of fact, more than any team in baseball, and that's going to give Kershaw confidence. And with the way his bats have been going, hitting home runs at such a high rate, Bellinger, Seager, and my guy in the outfield, snatching home runs like it's not nothing. Okay. I think they're going to give him the support that he needs. And the Dodgers, this kind of reminds me of watching the Lakers against the Heat. I want to give the Rays credit for making it there. I want to give the Heat credit for making it there. But this is the Dodgers World Series. Just like that was the Lakers NBA champion. This is the Dodgers World Series. They've been there 3 of the last 4 years. This is their World Series. They're going to get it done this year.
If the Tampa Bay Rays, as you use the analogy, have their Jimmy Butler, it is the rookie Randy Arozarena. He has been absolutely on fire, seemingly coming out of nowhere. In this postseason, he has a .382 batting percentage. He has hit 7 home runs. And in Game 7, in the first inning, he hit a 2-run home run that really propelled them to win that series. If this is the Lakers versus the Heat, the Jimmy Butler, the single person that could propel the Tampa Bay Rays to a win is Randy Arozarena. Keep an eye on that in South Florida, and we have some other big news coming out of the region. It is now official that Ryan Fitzpatrick is the backup quarterback in Miami, and it is Tua time. Why do you think they made that decision?
Because as much as we talked about the NFC East, because they have those large markets that play in that division, the same thing applies in this one. Brian Flores, like, we got a chance to do something this year. Let's get this young fella that we took so very high in the draft some experience. And once he goes out there last week and shows that he's healthy, and I appreciate the emotion that he shared when he FaceTimed his family on the field, it was like, if he's ready to go, you look at the other 52 guys, you put them out there and see what we can do the rest of the year.
I've always been a fan of this, and we don't know what he looks like in practice, and we don't know where his head is in terms of understanding the playbook, but it got to a point where Brian Flores said, the future of this franchise is this man under center. And I've seen what he can do in practice. I believe that he gives us a chance to win now and definitely gives us a chance to win moving forward. If you feel like Tua is ready, you put him on the field and see what he can do. And frankly, I wasn't going to pay that much attention to Miami next week, but I'm definitely going to watch every snap of this game now because I can't wait for Tua to get out there. And I think after seeing what happened with him in Alabama, that people like me will be rooting for him to be successful given his history. God, that was such a positive thing for me to say, Jalen, that I have to wash it away. It's time for Negative Jacoby. Sometimes things are so universally accepted and universally loved that I just have to go negative on them. And this photo that Jimmy Butler put on Instagram is one of those things. Jimmy Butler's everyone's favorite right now. And here he is on a yacht shooting hoops in a Dwayne Wade jersey. Jalen, everyone loved this so much, but I'm going to go negative on this. This is a photo shoot for Instagram, okay? He's not really getting shots up. He's not working on his game. He's on the back of a yacht, and I watched Below Deck. Do you know how much time and effort it took for them to put that hoop up on that yacht? Do you know how much man hours it took for someone to circle the boat in a jet ski just in case the ball falls off the back? He did this strictly for Instagram. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, every Tuesday we take down all of the football games we watched, and we distill it down into one simple conclusion. It is time for Tuesday's takeaways. Jalen, what is your takeaway from this weekend in the NFL?
You notice one of us is wearing a jersey, Die Hard. The other one wasn't, Die Easy. So I want to engage each fan base in the NFL. Ask yourself, is Ryan Tannehill outperforming our current starting quarterback? That's what I took away. When he was in Miami, he didn't necessarily go so well, dealt with some injury, had to reinvent himself. Not playing with the Titans led him last year to the playoffs. They even beat the Patriots on the road. Now he's still playing well and had a big-time game-winning drive in the previous game. Ask yourselves, fans, is Ryan Tannehill better than my quarterback?
I could only come up with 6 quarterbacks who I would take as a starter over Ryan Tannehill in the NFL right now. Jalen, I was watching all these games, and there's so much good football on Sunday and on Monday and sometimes even on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But you know what? There's a lot of bad football teams, too.